Good afternoon, Mr. Mukomana.
Good afternoon. How are you?
We are gathered here for this biodiversity conference. I wanted to find out more about your role in promoting diversity in Zimbabwe.
Okay. No, thank you very much. Um, and I've been asked a number of questions. Why? What is your role? FAO, biodiversity. Let me start by saying there is a relationship between Apimondia and FAO at headquarters in Rome through an MOU that was signed. And part of the mandate that have been given to Apimondia by FAO is to arrange 4 biodiversity workshops in the developing regions. The first one we did in Santiago last year. The second one we did in Jordan for North Africa and Middle East. The third one is here for Sub-Sahara Africa. And the last one will be done in Philippines for Asia. By virtue of us having that mandate, that is why we're here. Secondly, when we're talking about biodiversity, when we're talking about food and agriculture, I know you cannot eliminate the bee because it's the I would call it the strategic integrator because there is a famous statement that says if you take away the bee, man has only 4 years to live, and it's very true because for us to have plants, we need to have pollinators. For us to have food, we need to have pollinators. And one of I would say, the most faithful pollinator amongst the insects and animals is actually the honeybee. So this is why we're here. And what is happening in terms of I know maybe our agricultural systems and so forth, we are having some practices that are killing pollinators, including the bees and other insects. That's why we're also here to provide that link that we can't do agriculture, we can't do conserve our environment, we can't increase our food production without taking care of the pollinators and by default including honeybees.
I wanted to find out, there was some concern that a lot of field fire is destroying the bee population in Zimbabwe. How far true is that?
It's very true. Actually, it's one of the challenges that we are working on. It's from 2 ends. Firstly, fires destroy anything in its way, including the bees and the hives, because the hives are made from wood and it will be dry, so it really easily catches fire. And when we have a colon that is lost, then we've actually lost workers that are doing immense work, to pollinate even our grass, So veld fires are an enemy to a beekeeper, and not just to the environment through the air pollution and so forth, but really it is an enemy to the beekeeper. And whatever is an enemy to the beekeeper is an enemy to a man, because you're reducing the food that will come to the table. Secondly, when we're talking about a loss of bees through fires, can also be to do with how we have been harvesting our honey, or interacting with the bees, where when we get to the hive, we put fire, it's like we burn the bees. So it's like we're killing those that we're supposed to have given us the honey tomorrow. And even maybe when you're harvesting, you put a fire and you don't drowse it. When you leave it, maybe wind blows, and then So I think those are some of the things that we're also dealing with as Apimondia, and representing beekeepers, to ensure that whatever we're doing as beekeepers is not adversely affecting even the environment where we expect our bees to forage.
Then also people, they are complaining that some honey that is being sold on the market is adulterated. It's no longer pure honey. Is that true?
It's very true. Unfortunately, that's the reality we have. Let me say, as Apimondia at the highest level, we even have a statement that has been done, a statement on honey fraud. We have millions, or if not billions, of US dollars that are being lost annually. That's supposed to come to the beekeeper, a genuine beekeeper that is going to pay people that are doing honey the other way. Because now we're having what we call fake honey. Because adulterated honey is actually in 2 parts. There is adulteration because someone is not aware of how to handle the honey. Then we have deliberate adulteration, which is now honey fraud, where the bee has produced say one ton, and we multiply it to maybe 2 tons, because the definition of honey is very, very clear. It's a sweet natural sweetener made from flowers that have been visited, made by bees that have visited flowers to take nectar, and they work on that and secrete some enzymes and produce what we call honey. That is in a hive, yes, and harvested when it's mature. But when you are enhancing that process outside the hive, then that is now fake honey or adulterated honey. So we are having a lot of this adulterated honey for 2 reasons. One, honey is on demand now, and to the extent that the demand has surpassed production. So there are now people that are unethical who are now doing those manipulations using corn syrup, to produce and there's some even locally, who are so daring that they mix with brown sugar or even molasses. So if you don't know, you might end up thinking that what you are having is honey when it's not. So those are some of the things that we have, and we're trying to fight even at the highest level. Yes.
Do you happen to have standards for honey here in Zimbabwe?
We have standards at the global level. We have got standards that are very clear, especially on the honey. And this is where the definition of the snippets of the definition of honey I've given you is from the Codex standards. And for us, it is an issue of then adopting those standards. And Apimondia has contributed immensely towards the development of those standards. Now we are also working on standards for honey that is not coming from the honeybees, because we've got stingless bees as well. And also other products from the hive. Yes, so the standards are there. What we need to do then as Africa and as SADC and as Zimbabwe is to adopt those standards and make sure that we comply.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.